Okay, hello everyone, Leo here, Chilean physician and science fiction author, and this time I'm gonna tell you a little bit about science fiction, but from Bolivia. Similarly to the previous video in where I told you that I was invited to Peru, particularly one of the events was the International Book Fair. This time I got invited to the same international book fair, but this time in Bolivia, but it was virtual, not physical. So I was here in Santiago, and I did not fly to Bolivia. But it was very interesting because I got to participate in the International Book Fair, but particularly in what was named the first international narrative encounter dedicated to science fiction. So it involved several authors from different places, and it was a really great instance to talk about science fiction in general.
I know. You know.
In terms of the Latin American scenario for science fiction. So I wanted to mention that, show you a little bit of that with some images and posters, and there's going to be a video about the talk that we had as a group. So that's one thing, but of course this video had to had more things.
We know!
I know! You know. I know. I got it. I got the concept.
And what I thought about showing you was some connections, as I always try to do, with Chile. In a way, and this time it works. I'm gonna show you how it works around. So first I wanted to show you what I believe is one of the oldest, if not the oldest, book from Bolivia that's considered to be within the canon of science fiction, and it's this one. Books!
Oh! You have never interested me more.
El Valle del Sol by Diomedes de Pereira. It's a very old book, and it was actually published by a Chilean publisher. Here it is, by Nacimiento, a very important publisher, but the author is Bolivian, so this is considered one of the oldest ones in that sense, and it's a fantastic book.
Everything you would want to read is right here. Feel it. Feels good, right? Now smell it. Nothing smells like that.
In many ways, I'm going to show it to you closer here. And this being the oldest, on the other hand, I wanted to mention one of the most contemporary authors that you could find, which in this case I would mention Edmundo Paz Soldán. This is one of the most recent books. Well, he's got a lot of books that you can check out, so that's one thing, but I want to show you this, and it was actually mentioned and analyzed by some friends in another channel in Spanish, my friends from Estereoscopio. I'm gonna put on the link or something so you can check that out, because they talked about this book, and that's why I got it. So that's one thing that I wanted to mention. And now, how does this relates in a way to Chile? So I can close the idea that I said. So this book, Edmundo Paz Soldán, well, better said the author, I mean, actually participated in the introduction of this book, Nostalgia, by Mircea Cărtărescu. You can see there that Edmundo Paz Soldán, it's in the introduction. So Mircea Cărtărescu, how is this related? So there is a Bolivian author in this book, and this book is by a Romanian author, Mircea Cărtărescu, one of the names that was recently mentioned, and it's usually mentioned among the candidates of the Nobel Prize of Literature from Romania, as I said. Well, he was recently in Chile, so that's one thing that I wanted to say. That's how I made this to have a meaning, to have a sense. Even though he works with a broader category of, let's say, literature in general, according to the Encyclopedia of Science Fiction, so you can have that and not only my word. He has dealt with some elements of science fiction. In this one, for example, a bit more, you would have to find a way to interpret this with certain science fiction key elements, as kind of dystopian back in that day type of novels. But there is another one that's quite new, which does belong, I do believe, in the fantastic canon, like Borges style and that. And therefore you certainly can put this within the science fiction realm, and it's Solenoid, just to mention it because it's a big recommendation, similar to Thomas Pynchon in a style. And so he was in Chile, so that's how I wanted to encompass this, as how I wanted to tell you about Bolivian science fiction and these little elements that connects it with Chile in this case. So that's for now, and I'll see you in the next one. Hope you like this one.
Go away! Read some books!